Hi everyone, I'm Connie Roberts.
And I'm Jim Skakoza.
You know, this project has us in the front yard.
Yeah, we've got this brand new entry project. It's a little courtyard that we're building coming into the home. We had multiple problems and issues to deal with here. We're going to talk about that coming up next.
All right, we're getting started with this project, but I see that one of the problems here is this is a steep driveway.
We've got a lot of grade issues here. Yeah, the house itself sits down the slope from the rest of the area, including the street out here in front. And so we've got a lot of water issues to deal with here, a lot of unique situations which we've got to really address before we can go too far with the project. Let's go down and take a look, see how the guys are doing.
All right. Well, I see the guys have started digging, and you can still see how steep it is down here.
Yeah, there's a lot of grade coming down here, and that's really part of the problem. So one of the things we're doing here, there was an existing project here. There were some pavers here. Prior to that, they had some water issues. They had some pavers put in a number of years ago, which helped, but didn't really solve the problem because we still had all this water coming here. So we came up with this other solution, which we're going to get into. But I wanted to show you some of the issues that they were dealing with. Not only do we have all the water coming here, but they have an issue with their foundation where they have a basement underneath the garage and all this water was coming through the foundation wall and coming down into the basement.
Oh, wow.
So we really needed to solve that problem. So I'm going to show you what happened here.
Okay.
So one of the perennial problems they had here was the fact that they were getting all this water in the basement. This is actually a garage. And what they did is they poured a concrete deck for the garage, but it's over the basement. So if you look closely here, you can see where this is the original foundation wall.
Right.
And then they poured the deck for the garage over the top of the foundation wall. But they didn't do anything in terms of sealing this area up. So what was happening originally before they had the pavers, all the water that came into this space was leaking through that void space, going down into the basement.
Not good.
No, it's not good. When they did the original paver project, that helped, but they still had the same issue. So when they were interested in doing a new project here, one of the options was either to put in traditional paving, with polymeric sand, but then we'd have to put a series of drains in here to take whatever water came into the space and get it out of here. Or we proposed actually doing a permeable type paver patio. So there's no polymeric sand. We've done these before where the water literally goes right down through the whole system into pipes that are in the stone, takes the water out. So no matter how much water comes down here, we don't have to worry about the water sitting here. It's going to be gone.
Nice.
It's not going to sit on the surface, won't freeze in the wintertime, and the water won't permeate down through here. And what we're going to do while we have this area exposed, we're going to install this ice and water shield. It's a rubberized product, rubberized asphalt product, which will get glued onto that space so that we never have an issue of the water infiltrating into that seam and getting back down into the basement. So in the process of solving the overall water issue, we're also dealing with the perennial problem that they had here.
The crew continues to dig and level the ground for the new landscape. The weather's good and work moves ahead quickly.
So Connie, in this project we're doing some other interesting features that are above and beyond dealing with the water issues. One of them is going to be this water feature that we're building into the retaining wall here that we're building. And it's going to be great because you're going to have this very unique water feature in this space that you can clearly see from inside the house, which is their living room there.
Nice.
It's going to be all lit up at night, and it's going to be absolutely great. Plus it's going to be great, really inviting for anybody coming down into the space at night.
Jim, I see they're digging around the corner here. What's this for?
Well, again, we're trying to create a nice scene in the whole front of the house. So part of that is developing a planting bed over in here. This is going to be a raised planter bed with the same wall block that we're building some of the other features with. And we've extended it beyond the side of the house here. It'll wrap around to this backside so that it really extends the visual view of the house with the plantings and brings the whole scene together.
The front yard is getting a nice facelift, plus it takes care of some water issues at the same time. Coming up next, the centerpiece water feature is taking shape. We are lending money at the First Northern Bank and Trust, and you can apply online or in person.
Check out our home equity line of credit.
We offer commercial mortgages, business loans, lines of credit, and term loans to fit your needs.
Or our Flex Term Home Equity Line of Credit.
We also offer home mortgage loans,
personal loans, and more. Local decision-making speeds the process.
Come in today to any of our 11 branches to talk to an experienced lender and find out how we can help you achieve your dreams. At First Northern Bank and Trust, your community, our commitment. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Jim Skakoza, and now that you've seen the work we do, don't you think it's time to transform your yard into that magical place you've dreamed of? At Chestnut Hill Nursery, we can create a landscape for the way you live. Whether you're looking for a simple walkway, an elegant outdoor kitchen, or maybe you just want to spruce up your existing landscape, we can help you get there. It's your yard, so dream big or keep it simple, we can create a design just for you. What are you waiting for? This is the best time of all to start planning your dream landscape.
If you're in business, you want the power of the Greater Pocono Chamber of Commerce behind you. As a member, you can take advantage of free business seminars. These are held once a month, 1 hour of the morning from 8:30 till 9:30. Always an interesting topic to help you succeed in business. Call the Greater Pocono Chamber of Commerce today to become a member and sign up for free business seminars. 570-421-4433. 570-421-4433. This new front yard landscape has a unique centerpiece water feature, which will be a great tranquil setting to relax and enjoy the outdoors.
Jim, we're on the other side of this water feature where all the important things happen.
Right. Well, this is some of the mechanics that are going on for our water feature that's part of this whole patio project. So we're going to walk around the front. I'll give you an idea of some of the things we've got in place already, okay? Come on.
Okay.
All right, Connie, let me explain to you what's going on here. This is the main feature in the new entry that we're doing here, okay? It's an entry courtyard patio. So this is going to be basically a wall water coming down out of the wall,
Okay.
and it goes down into this basin. So you can see here what we've done is we've already kind of established our grades. So we've set our basin, and this is where all the water goes. If you open up this panel, you can see the pump is down inside here.
Right.
All right, then we're going to bring the wire out to the back. Over here is where all the water actually comes down out of the spillway. It hits this panel here, which breaks up the water so it's not splashing all over the place. Okay, and then we'll have some nice decorative rock in here as well. So the idea is that we have this water coming out of the wall into this basin, and of course it's a recirculating process. So down here is the return line. The pump takes the water that's in this basin and acts like a reservoir, and it takes it back and brings it back up to the top of the water feature and comes back down. So it just keeps going round and round, obviously.
Right.
But we have to make a lot of accommodations for this. There's power lines going through here, there's water lines going through here. So as we're building up the wall, we've got to make sure we've got places for all those features to go through, and all our connections and all our ability to control the water, the valves and stuff will all be behind the falls, which you won't see. Now, the way this works, if I can back up right behind you, this is the actual spillway here.
Okay.
So it's all made out of stainless steel. There's a diffuser in here, and you can see the water comes through this area here. It gets plumbed into these 2 points. We'll have a valve on here so you can adjust the flow of the water. And what we've begun to do here now is to create a pocket for this spillway to fit into. So you can see how they're starting to cut that out. We left the face of the block here, which will cover the face of this. When we're all done with this will literally sit down into that space nice and low.
Okay.
So you won't see any of this except for this little spillway here.
Oh, nice.
The other nice thing about this, we have this light bar. Okay, this is all, it's an LED light bar.
Okay.
Okay, it gets mounted inside of here. This changes colors.
Oh, cool.
And it's on a remote control. So what'll happen at nighttime as the water's coming through here, you'll see the color changing through the water and spilling down over. So it's going to be really neat.
That's cool.
But As you can see, there's a lot of technical stuff. It's kind of a slow process, but as we build it up, we're making sure all the parts fit, everything is connected properly. We'll test it as we go before we finalize the whole deal.
So what's with the blocks in the front here?
Okay, good question. So obviously when this is all done, we don't want to see the face of this basin.
Right.
Okay, this is going to be totally hidden so you don't even see it. So what we're going to be doing is taking wall block like we used in behind, and we're going to stack them across the front of this with a cap on the top. So all you'll see is really the basin in the back, actually the stone and the water feature in the background, and then you'll see about this much of the base block with the cap on it, because remember, all this space gets filled with our clean stone, which is part of our permeable paving.
Okay, gotcha.
So even though you see several block here right now, you're only going to see about half of this block in this cap when we have our finished grade established.
The crew puts all its effort into working on the water feature, and soon it's ready for testing.
Jim, the water feature is really coming along, but how does it all work?
Well, it is coming along, and let me explain to you what we've done here. So this is our basin. This is where the water is. We've already put some water in because we're ready to test this.
Okay.
This is our splash guard. So when the water comes out of the spillway, it hits the splash guard. It doesn't throw the water all over the patio.
Okay.
Down here is our pump. Okay, you see it down in here.
Right.
The plumbing's all hooked up. We have a union connected here, so in the wintertime they can disconnect the pump, put it in the garage for the winter so it doesn't freeze, and then put it back in the springtime.
Oh,
Okay, that's a real nice quick way to disconnect everything. So the pipe comes down through here, goes underneath, goes through the wall, comes up on the back side. If you look down in here, here's our water flow coming in.
Right.
We have an adjusting valve here so we can adjust the flow in and out of coming into the spillway. Comes up, it tees off like this here. This is a diffuser and a spillway. So the water comes in, it diffuses it, so it comes out as a nice sheet over the top like this. And we also have our light bar installed in there already as well. And this is going to change colors as the water is running, which is really cool.
Oh, that's exciting.
Now, I want to show you something else we're going to finish. Maybe Tom can give us a hand over here. We wanted to do something a little bit interesting in terms of the top of this. So what we decided to do was to make an arc. You want to hand me some block over? And what we've done is we cut some of our wall block to make this nice gentle arc. So here's our first piece. These are all pre-cut. Tom's done these already. And he's just going to hand them to me, just like that. All right. And that goes like that.
That looks pretty.
And I gotta step over here. That goes like that. These will all get glued down. All right, this is our last piece, which hopefully is gonna fit. There we go. And then
Nice.
we're gonna finish that off with some caps. Tom can hand me some caps. See, we've got a nice arc on there.
Yeah.
That way. But if you stand back, you can see how nice that looks across the top now.
Yeah, it does look nice.
Okay? So, here's the magic moment. Is it all gonna work?
Okay.
So for now, we haven't run all our electric lines yet. We're just gonna plug this in, see what happens. You ready?
Ready.
Why don't you do the honors?
Okay.
Here it comes. And there you go,
Oh, wow.
an instant water wall.
That is cool.
Isn't that cool? And at nighttime, when the lights are on, you're gonna have all this color here as well.
That's going to be so pretty.
Up next, the permeable pavers are going down on this project as we get near the end.
Joining me now is Kevin Berry of KMB Plumbing and Electrical, and we're here to talk about heating systems, Navien. Let's tell people about they can use it for their business or their home.
Yes, Navien instantaneous hot water heaters can be used in residential or commercial applications. These units were installed in a 137-bed facility nursing home.
What makes this system different than others?
This is a system where you're only paying for what you use on the water. In a normal residential home or business, they're using electric water heaters, which you're constantly paying for to keep that water warm.
Now we're in a nursing facility here. What did you do here?
We removed the 20,000 gallon electric water heater that would constantly reheat the water, and their electric bills were through the roof. And we put in 11 Navians in their place.
Now, there's a lot of Navians here. Why did you need so many?
Because of their demand and their usage that they need for water and for cleaning and for laundry. The units are designed where there's one master unit and the rest are slaves. So as they need more demand, they ramp up and start another unit, and it continues on until their needs are satisfied.
Now, there's more to the Navian system. This is for on-demand heating the water. What about the other part of it?
Navian does make a unit that'll do domestic hot water and do your heating system also. It's called a combi unit.
And how does that work?
It'll actually, if you have like hot water baseboard in your home, it'll take the place of your boiler in your basement, and then you'll do the same thing. It will only heat and use as much gas as you need. So the energy efficiency is way up.
So people who are thinking, oh, I have a large home, what would you suggest that they should do to keep their costs down?
Obviously look into Navian water heaters because it's on demand use. It's not something that they're storing, and we can design a system for them and lay it out for as large or as small as they have.
Now, one of the unique things about the Navian system is it's neat and clean. I gotta tell you, this looks beautiful in here for the amount of how many units that are here. In people's homes, what does it do for them? It gets rid of their water tank.
Correct. It gets rid of their electric hot water heater that they're constantly storing water and paying that bill over and over again for that same water.
So big tanks, they're out, and you have this small unit on your wall.
Small unit on the wall. It vents out relatively easily.
This is an on-demand. When you need it, you get it, no matter
Correct.
where it's at,
Correct.
in your commercial business or your home.
Correct.
Let's explain that.
These have recirculation loops on them, so you have constant hot water to your faucets at all times. This facility needed it because it is a nursing facility. They're doing approximately 500 people a day.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Kevin, if people want more information on this system, what should we tell them?
You can contact us either on the web at kmb_pe@yahoo.com or kmbplumbing.com, or you can call us direct at 570-460-0111.
Jim, I know the main issue here is drainage.
Yeah, we had a lot of water issues. Everything comes down right towards the house here. So the main concern and the reason why we decided to put this permeable paving in was so we could absorb any of the water that came down into this space and got rid of it before it caused any problems. Okay, so remember we had some gap in the wall there back there between the foundation and the pour of the slab. So we filled all that up with hydraulic cement. We're also going to put ice and water shield on there, so we'll never have intrusion of water in that space anymore.
Okay.
Now what we're doing is we're building our permeable paving base here, which is the clean number 57 stones. But the first thing we got to do is we got to put some pipe in it. So what this does, if you look at this pipe, you can see there's all these little slits in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's drain pipe. Now the reason why we're putting this in here is that even though this is designed to absorb all the water that falls into the space and go down back and percolate into the ground, if we get a situation where we've got, say, a hurricane coming and we've got tons and tons of water, we want to make sure it doesn't flood in this space because it can only percolate at a certain rate.
Right.
So what this pipe will then do is any excess water that fills in this space will get taken into this pipe and then carried out and dumped on the outside.
It's out of here.
It's out of here. So we're never going to have any problem with water in this space.
Okay.
So we're going to dump some stone in here. We'll show you how we're going to do that.
Okay.
So kind of we're ready to start adding some new stone in here. All right, this is our 57s. It's a clean wash stone, so the water drains right down through it. And it'll get into this pipe to take out any of the excess water. So what we're gonna do is we've got our pipe set, we've got some pitch going out.
Okay.
All right, so we're just gonna take a little bit of stone and put it up against the pipe like this here. Okay. Put some on the other side, just to get it in place. So now we're going to have Tom come in with some more stone. We're going to dump it on here. We're going to fill it over the top. Okay? Now pull it over the top of the pipe.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is keep doing this until we come up to our finished grade.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a layer of real fine stone, which is our setting bed. And then we'll start laying our pavers.
All right.
The crew finishes installing the stone base, and then work on the paver patio gets underway.
Well, Jim, the last time we spoke, we were working with rocks number 57.
Number 57s, that's correct. That's our base stone. That's for our heavy load of aggregate so that the water goes down. Remember, we have our foundation drain in there. And then we've come in and we put on, these are number 8s. Okay. And what these are, it's a much finer stone. It's a 1/4 inch size, 3/8 size. And so what this is going to do, this will be our leveling bed. All right, so you can see here we have our screed pipes in there. They're all set to grade, so we have the proper grade in here. Then we screed that stone off to make a nice flat surface so we can do our pavers. So once we have this all laid out, then we can start laying our pavers. You can see we've already done a bunch of the paving already. I just wanted to show you something here. Remember how we talk about this as a permeable system?
Right.
So any water that comes in here goes straight down. So I got a little bucket of water here.
Okay.
And watch what happens here when I pour this either on the stones or in here. Where's
Wow.
the water go?
It's going somewhere else.
Right?
Right down in the ground. It's great.
So you'll never have water standing on this patio, which is fabulous, especially for this location because of the way they have their grade set up here. So now, once we have this all laid and cut in, our pattern's all complete, then we're going to go in. I normally would put polymeric sand in the joints.
Right.
Okay, that's the sand that gets real hard. Of course, we don't really want to do that now because we want this water to percolate down through the system into the stone and out. So we can't jam up the joints with polymeric sand because that gets hard.
Right.
So what we use is we have a different color sand, or stone rather. This is actually a number 9 stone. And you can see it's a little smaller than what we have as our base material.
Right.
This here will be swept into the joints and then fill the joints entirely up to the top of the paver.
Right.
And so what you'll have is that you'll have a filled joint, so the pavers are not going to move, they're all interlocking, and the water will permeate down through that joint, down into the base stone, and out the pipe. And again, we never have an issue with the water. So
Nice.
this is how permeable paving works.
This front yard landscaping project is nearly complete, as the remaining pavers are set and the planting beds are installed. Still ahead, a final walkthrough for this landscape.
Hi, I'm Jim Skakoza, and now that you've seen the work we do, don't you think it's time to transform your yard into that magical place you've dreamed of? At Chestnut Hill Nursery, we can create a landscape for the way you live. Whether you're looking for a simple walkway, an elegant outdoor kitchen, or maybe you just want to spruce up your existing landscape, we can help you get there. It's your yard, so dream big or keep it simple, we can create a design just for you. What are you waiting for? This is the best time of all to start planning your dream landscape.
We are lending money at the First Northern Bank and Trust, and you can apply online or in person.
Check out our home equity line of credit.
We offer commercial mortgages, business loans, lines of credit, and term loans to fit your needs.
Or our Flex Term Home Equity Line of Credit.
We also offer home mortgage loans.
Personal loans and more. Local decision making speeds the process.
Come in today to any of our 11 branches to talk to an experienced lender and find out how we can help you achieve your dreams. At First Northern Bank and Trust, your community, our commitment. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the show. We're now finished with this project.
We are finished, and boy, did it come out great, and the homeowners just love it.
They did.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Wow, Jim, that's a steep hill. I can see why this had to be addressed.
There's quite a bit of elevation there, and of course all that water kind of rolls down into this space. So if you recall, that was the main issue and the main focus here. They had done a project in here not that long ago. Really weren't terrifically happy with the results. They still had some water issues. So when we sat down and talked about doing this project for them, that was the main concern. And that was the reason why we decided to use the permeable paving system, you know, as you've seen earlier in the show. So it really worked out great. Matter of fact, we just had a rainstorm the other night. During the rainstorm, the homeowner emailed me saying, it's pouring like crazy and there's no water anywhere.
Nice.
So it really worked out great. So it created this nice patio space. It solved the problem. And now they've got this place that they can really enjoy, and they don't have to have all this on the back of their mind like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to deal with the water again.
Yeah.
So we came in here. One of the things we wanted to give the homeowner was a space to do a little seasonal stuff. Okay, so rather than, we wanted to create and break the space instead of having just one large patio. So we did this raised little planter. This goes up against the wall here, and this is the area where we had that problem with the foundation wall and the water getting down into the basement, which we've sealed entirely now, so that's not an issue. We built this little planter box, and the concept here is that the homeowner seasonally can change the look here. So right now it's fall, so he's got to decorate it up for fall. This will be decorated up for Christmas. In the springtime it'll look like spring. So this is kind of a little sandbox to play around in, and she's going to really enjoy that. But the main feature is over here. Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Well, Connie, here it is. This is the main event.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that great? So here's the storyline is the homeowners here basically utilize this front, even though it's the front area of the house, they utilize it as their patio. The back side of the house has a real severe drop off. They don't spend any time back there at all. They spend their time out here. So we really wanted to try to give them something to get them to linger out here even longer. So we brought in the concept of doing this water wall into the project, and then of course you can see it's all backlit with LED lights, so at nighttime it's changing colors constantly. It's really terrific. And it gives them a sense of tranquility because you've got the sound of the water. You see the water, you get the light in the water, and they just love sitting out here enjoying the space and watching this at night. Of course, all the neighbors are now hanging out. This is like a favorite spot in the neighborhood.
The party house.
So this really came together beautifully, and it brought the whole project together nicely. We also solved some other issues with them. They were really unhappy about the step going into the house. It was the wrong elevation.
Right.
So we built them a whole new step. Now it's a perfect 6-inch up, 6-inch up, nice and comfortable. They don't have to worry about somebody tripping coming in or out of the front door. And then again, we finished off the corner with this planting space. Again, it's a raised planting bed. Just to finish the corner of the house there, we wrapped it around the corner and tucked it back in. So it totally completes the scene here.
Looks fantastic.
It really does. It came out great, and they are absolutely thrilled.
And I love this tree. It gives a lot of shade, and it just looks perfect.
So kind of the other thing we did to finalize this project is we did some new plantings behind the scene here. This was a problem area here because of the maple trees that are here. They throw a lot of shade, which is good and bad. Not good for grass, great to stay out of the heat. So they had a real problem growing grass down in this space. So what we did is we did some nice shade-loving plants down in this area that'll fill out real nice. Some pachysandra, which will fill out totally out in the outside edge, and then reseeded the perimeter area. So it worked out kind of nice.
But everything just fits. Like this tree, I was worried you were going to take it out of here, but it's
this tree was really important because it provides a lot of shade in the space. And even when we were working here and we were working in some really hot weather, it was such a comfort to the guys that have this tree here because it kept them out of the sun, which was great. So we didn't really want to disturb that tree. You know, we'd love to do a project like this in your backyard. Give us a call or contact us on the web at chnursery.com.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here. So Jim, this water feature, how does it all work?
You missed the line.
I missed the line. I know it's an elevation because my one foot's got all the weight on it. My foot's getting tired of standing here. We gotta get going.
See, that's why I'm the boss.
I'm not
You're
saying
giving
a
it to me
word.
backwards.
I'm just hoping I have a good side.
All the tricks of editing, you know, all that mumbo jumbo.